Mike Tyson's Purple Punch Punch Out. Mike Tyson's Purple Punch Punch Out. My re-experience with Mike Tyson's punch out. I don't know why I did that. Look, just ignore that, alright? Had a pretty fun day, but I know I have made this video before, somewhat, and I kind of want to make a video talking about it again. So, JTO, welcome to stream. So let's go ahead and do that, right? So this will be my re-experience / my experience with Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. So this is funny, okay? So I recently replayed Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and as you guys know, I played NES Punch-Out on my YouTube channel. I didn't play it, I didn't play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out for my YouTube. I played NES Punch-Out, aka the 1990 re-release that Nintendo loves to push out more than Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. And I recently played Mike Tyson's Punch-Out for you guys like about a week or so ago, or 2 weeks ago now, because I just wanted to like re-experience, the original release, not the original release, because if you guys remember, the Punch-Out Gold Edition is the original Punch-Out NES release, where it goes with the Super Macho Man. This was like the second version of, Punch-Out for the NES, and I kind of wanted to talk about it / kind of just bring it up again and just kind of talk about why, Punch-Out's a great game, just kind of just talk about the base, what is it like, right? So, when I first got into Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, I obviously played the 1990, and you guys know how my playthroughs of NES Punch-Out kind of go nowadays. Like, I enjoy the game a lot, but I can only enjoy it up to a certain point nowadays because, not save stating and speed running the game and whatnot. I'm able to get around, I think, like Bald Bull 2 or Soda Pop Pizky, or a little bit higher than that, like right before Mr. Sandman. I could reach Mr. Sandman's save stateless. It's just after him, it's kind of like a losing battle. You know what I mean? Like, I can't really go further than that. But I want to talk about, like, my love. Yeti Man. How you doing, Yeti Man? How you doing? I want to talk about my love for this game and why I still love it even after all this time later. And why do I not, like, play it as much nowadays? I try my best to stay away from it, but I fail because I just love Punch-Out so much as a series. But anyways, so what makes this game great, right? Obviously, being testing your own reflexes against the opponents. That's what makes Punch-Out so much fun for me. I do love testing my skills, and I don't know why, but it gets me in that fighting spirit, whenever I play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. And of course, obviously, who doesn't love Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? Because, not everyone gets a chance to fight Mike Tyson, right? Are you on something? No, why the fuck would I be on something? Why do people think I'm on something? But, yeah, like, getting to fight Mike Tyson, at the end of the game, that's a big thing why Mike Tyson's Punch-Out became so popular, right? And, getting to do that is so much fun, right? I'm going to sub to you. You look very nice. And what are you talking about? I am talking about my relay Senja. I am talking about Mike Tyson's Punch-Out and why it's a go-to game, but also a really annoying game at the same time. And since NES Punch-Out, Mike Tyson Punch-Out go hand-in-hand, they're basically the same game except for one massive character change, Mr. Dream and Mike Tyson. But basically, obviously, you start with Glass Joe. Glass Joe's easy. Love him. Easy. Knock him out at 42. Just wait till 40 seconds, right? And then just hit him in the stomach or the face for an instant knockout. You only have like 7 frames to get the instant knockout, which is really tough to do for players that are playing for the first time. If you are playing for the first time, I wouldn't recommend going for the instant knockdown on Glass Joe. Von Kaiser, fucking easy, man. When he goes in crouching position, you want to like hit him in the gut punch, you know what I mean? Gut punch him when he like tries to crouch down on you, which he obviously bob his head and hits you forward. That's like his only punch, and then he crouches up and does an uppercut. Those are his 2 attacks, right? For my boy Von Kaiser, right? So whenever he tries to go for an uppercut, which he's pretty slow at it, hit him in the gut for a star punch, or, in the middle of his jab, you can also try to hit him, like counter hit him in the stomach to get a star. And once you get a star, he'll go, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Like, you start to freak out. You can star punch the hell out of him and then do that 2 more times and he's knocked out, right? This game's all about boxing up your opponents and, testing your reflexes against said opponents. Using the up on the D-pad, punching the face punches and then gut punches. You only have 2 types of wave punches. Left punch, right punch. Press up on D-pad for the face. Don't press anything for the body blows. And then press down on the D-pad to block. Press left and right to shimmy those respective sides. And then that's what you got to do. Basically, it's all about timing your attacks, like when to attack, when to dodge an attack, when to hit them for a star, etc., right? So that's Von Kaiser. Von Kaiser's easily out there. Get him out of here, right? And then you get to Piston Hondo, right? I remember when I fought Piston Hondo in stream. I've already done this game so many times by this point. That's why, like, my experience with NES, I would recommend you watch my experience with NES Punch-Out, my experience with Punch-Out NES, because that's where I first played it. My experience is kind of like a mix of a re-experience, but also my experience at the same time, because I realized I never made a video on the original Mike Tyson's Punch-Out game. I never made my experience on it, other than the 2015 remix version, right? But this is the vanilla version I'm talking about, not a ROM hack, right? This is the vanilla Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, where Mike Tyson's at the end. No crazy antics, okay? But anyway, so you get the Piston Hondo. He's he's the dude that's going to test you on when you should be using both punches, right? Both your fist and teaching you how to dodge and all that other sort of stuff. The first cup, obviously, is kind of like your tutorial cup, right? And I'm not going to lie, since I could beat this Piston Hondo no problem, he was not an issue, right? But whenever we get to, because you start with the little leagues, and then you go to Major League, and then you go to World Circuit, and whatnot. So you go to Major. I think it was either King Hippo you fight next. I don't know why, but I noticed as of late, like, the order for NES Punch-Outs, like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, I can't remember the order all that good anymore. I used to remember the order, like, every other time, because I used to speedrun it. I used to try my best to get faster and faster times on NES Punch-Out to get good runs and stuff, and I would remember the order then, but since I haven't played Mike Tyson's Punch-Out in a little bit, I kind of forgot the order of it, right? So I'm trying to remember the next opponent after Piston Hondo, because after Piston Hondo, I think it's Don Flamenco, right? Don Flamenco, right? So he's basically that type of dude that, like, says, come at me, you hit me, and I will counter hit you. Basically, he's basically playing your style, right? Because what you do is you counter punch all your opponents, because they'll start throwing attacks at you, and you just want to counter punch all of those, right? By either blocking or dodging and then striking, right? Don Flamenco basically does the same style you do. You just have to out-counter him. Out-counter punch his bitch ass, right? Which is pretty easy to do, because Don Flamenco fight number 1 is really easy, because all you need to do is, follow his bait by hitting him, right? He'll do an uppercut, right? Once you do the uppercut, this is what I'm going to teach y'all. Do left, right, or right, left, right, left, because I'm looking at my fist. This is the position of my fist, right? Just keep mashing those buttons up to his face over and over again. Don't do 2 and then 1 more. Just keep doing 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 on his face. Congratulations, you just got an infinite on Don Flamenco, right? By the way, Lucas, welcome to the stream, right? And I remember when I figured out this infinite, I was like, yo, I gotta tell Chris, I gotta tell the boys, because I figured out a Punch-Out infinite by researching and by playing so many times on Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, that I figured out a Don Flamenco infinite that works in any version of Punch-Out for the NES. It even works in the 1990 version of Punch-Out NES, because Don Flamenco is supposed to be this guy that acts all tough, like he feels like he's the shit, but in actuality, he's not really the shit. Yet he passed up Glass Joe in the leagues. But anyway, so after Don Flamenco, you fight a real opponent, a.k.a. King Hippo. And King Hippo, this is where a lot of people kind of died, and this wasn't where I died. I died on the dude after this for my first time. But King Hippo was really tough, because basically what you got to do is you got to go up to him, right? Like when he opens his mouth, hit him in the mouth 1 time, and then you want to keep hitting him in the stomach over and over and over and over and over until he goes down, which once he goes down, King Hippo does not get back up. And, I struggle with King Hippo sometimes in terms of getting good times. Sometimes I would get times early 1 minute, other times I would get under a minute, and then there would be times where I'm sitting there getting longer than a minute, where I take a minute 45 to beat him, a minute 48. I actually have a whole gameplay of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out if you just want to watch that for reference, right? Whenever we get into that, if you just want to see that shit, right? And, yeah, but I always had problems with King Hippo because my time with him would be inconsistent, right? Great Tiger. Now, obviously, Ayo, the Ayo man, if you guys remember him from Wii, or any of my Punch-Out videos that you guys have watched, or maybe even comps or whatever, Great Tiger was the first opponent I ever struggled on in terms of Punch-Out, because I remember his Magic Punch is what baited me the first time, and I had a whole freak out about what the fuck type of punch was that, because I couldn't even see what Great Tiger's move was. But now, you know, as a Punch-Out veteran who has played Punch-Out NES for a long time, aka, you know, my Tyson's Punch-Out or the NES 1990 version, whatever version you're talking about, I figured out that Great Tiger's Magic Punch, this is the best way to go about it, right? Is basically his little jewel on his head will indicate when he's going to punch you, right? Before that, you can hit him in the face for a star punch, right? That's one way to get a star punch, right? Or you can sit there when he comes at you. You can block the attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, like a few jabs on the head, and then he'll rinse and repeat that, right? Until you knock him out or whatever. You take the long way, or, you know, however you want to handle the business, right? You want to give Great Tiger the business. There's also another way you can star punch him. Basically, when he goes for an uppercut too, kind of like Von Kaiser's uppercuts, right? But instead, you can just keep hitting him in the stomach, like gut by gut, because he'll go this way and he'll go this way for an uppercut, right? And since I've mastered Great Tiger as a fight, pretty much I kind of bait him and just kind of go, like, you know, hit him in the gut when he's about to uppercut me for a star. I knock him out, right? And, you know, since I've done it so many times by this point, you know, after I knock him out, he gets so pissed at me, he does his Magic Punch, which this Magic Punch every player should watch out for, because this is where he goes, you know, he'll go run around the ring, like dashes you around the ring, does 1 punch, 2 punch, 3 punch, 4 punch, and you're probably wondering how to dodge it. Just block. And this is what I do whenever I play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, right? I will sit there and count how many times he's gonna come at me, right? So, and basically he'll go around in a circle in the map. He'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just count the 5, right? And Great Tiger gets so tired, he goes, and you just do whatever. You can regular punch him, you can star punch him to knock him out, and the match will be over by round 1 if you can knock him out, like, in a good amount of time. If you knocked him 2 times before he does the, I'm pissed off at you, let me do my Great Tiger Punch. And usually I would knock him around 250, 254-ish, around that said time. And if I take longer, it's because I'm a little rusty, right? So after Great Tiger, I think you get into a match with Bald Bull, right? And Bald Bull would be a lot of people's first mistake, because obviously the bull charge. But other than the bull charge, you know, just watch out for his rolling punches. Kind of like watch out for his rolling punches and his uppercuts he likes to throw at you to kind of throw you off. And his bull charge is an instant kill, like an instant knockout, right? But you can just hit him in the stomach for an instant knockout, or in the middle of his rolling punches, you can hit him in the face for a quick star, right? This also works, I think, on Bald Bull 1, but I would have tried to apply that for Bald Bull 2. Also, I didn't know this, but in Bald Bull 1 or Bald Bull 2, you can actually hit him before uppercutting for a star punch, for a star. So do that with what you will with that info. I didn't realize this until I actually did my recent Mike Tyson playthrough. I didn't discover this, even all the times I've played Mike Tyson's Punch-Out / NES Punch-Out. I didn't realize you can actually hit fucking Bald Bull right before that shit, right? So then, you know, once you beat that, you get a little cutscene that dun, 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 in between all the circuits and stuff, right? Which that bike cutscene with that music is fucking flawless. Also, the fight music keeps you really in the fight. I love that. And I hope I actually talked about that in my original REexperience, but, like, dude, I'm telling you, it still hooks me to this day. The fight theme for Mike Tyson's Punch-Out still hooks me to this day. It's so fucking good. It's really good. With even Wii does, like, a really good version of it. It's such a good theme, they had to use it in Wii. And I think they even, like, tried to do a different version of it in Super Punch-Out for the Super Nintendo. But anyways, I digress. So after that cutscene, you get to World Circuit, and then you fight Piston Hondo 2. Piston Hondo is pissed at your bitch ass, right? So you're sitting there like, alright, what's Piston Hondo going to do? He has a new move. He has, also Piston Hondo, I forgot to mention this, but I'll just mention it here since Piston Hondo 2. He'll also get pissed at you and try to rush at you, right, with his Piston Rush. which is basically like rapid jabs over and over. You can either block these, you can dodge one or maybe two, and then quickly go right and block animation, or when he's dashing at you, you can punch him in the stomach at a certain frame, and if the timer's at 102, you'll instant knock him out and win the match no matter what. But, but anyways, other than that, his new attack, Piston Hondo, he's a little faster than before when you fought him in the first circuit, right? But he also has this new jab where he likes to do 1, 2, 3, then uppercut. But he also likes to do he likes to try to bait your ass and do an uppercut. And sometimes he'll like come in with another uppercut after like one uppercut he'll do, and then he'll try to come at you with another uppercut, and then watch out for the bait uppercut that he tries to throw at you by delaying it a little bit. Other than those moves and you knowing the timing, and also he does like a certain punch swing like this, which you can easily get a star punch though. And just watch out for when he blinks, so you can also get star punch based off of that as well. So that's Piston Hondo. I easily bitch him since I'm so used to getting past him without save stating or whatever. A lot of people get on me for save stating in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out when I initially played, which I can understand, but also I'm like, dude, not everybody plays, non-save stated, or some people really do need the save states to come in handy, you know what I mean? So that's just me. In my opinion, that might just be me. But anyways, as I was saying, right? So after you get done dealing with that, right? Piston Hondo, you have Soda. I think it's either Soda Popinski. Yeah, actually, I think it is, because it starts with, Piston Hondo, Soda Popinski. Then after Soda Popinski, I think it's Blood Bowl 2, and then Don Flamenco, and then Mr. Sandman, right? So Soda Popinski, he is a new guy, and I remember, I shit you not, in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, no matter what Punch-Out, this dude pisses me off, okay? He pisses me off because I am very inconsistent with him. I remember every single time I would call him the NES run killer because he would kill like so many of my Punch-Out runs because he's just so damn difficult for me, right? Until I learned a certain strategy that actually really helped me out, and ever since then, I make Soda Popinski my bitch, right? Most of the time. But sometimes I do slip up with the timings of the thing, which I am going to tell you. I'm going to tell you a secret about Soda Popinski. He gets so fucking close to me right now. He may look menacing with that punch over here, and then the upper punches and super uppercuts, which take after HP. But let me tell you something, my guy. So I want you to dodge the first two base punches of his shit, right? And then sit there and crouch, right? Soda Popinski won't attack. He'll wonder what the fuck you're doing, and as he's wondering, hit him in the stomach for a quick star, dodge his uppercut, right? Punch him maybe a few times, and then star punch him for an instant knockdown, right? And do that 2 more times, but also add more jabs to when you actually get him stunned and stuff, and you dodge his uppercut. Just punch him a little bit more, and then do the superstar punch knockout again, and then follow it up and do the same thing another time, 3 times. Soda Popinski is fucking out of here. And when I discovered that for the first time, I was one of the happiest guys alive. And this took me months to figure out, okay? Because I just kept playing and playing and playing and playing. And then also looking up videos and videos and videos, trying to find ways to improve my Punch-Out speed runs and just Punch-Out NES runs just in general. Even though I know I'll never make it to, Mr. Dream and whatnot, because Super Macho Man's kind of a bitch. But you get what I mean, right? He's kind of a problem, right? But that's why Soda Popinski for so long has been a bitch to me, because he just kept murking me and ruining my runs, and I kept being inconsistent with my timings and all that other sort of stuff. So I kept fucking up on him for a long time. Bald Bull 2, if it's not Soda Popinski, Bald Bull 2 will definitely put me in my fucking grave. And I say this because Bald Bull 2, he is quicker with his rolling punches, he is quicker with his uppercut punches, and he cannot die or get knocked down by normal punches. You have to star punch him, right? And sometimes he'll come out by taunting you like this, like, come on, come on, come on, so you can get a hit in, so you can get a star, and you need to knock him out with a star punch. But also, use your star punches very wisely, and also keep this in mind, you can't normal punch him as much as you could in the original fight you had with Bald Bull, because after, certain punches, he'll try to come at you with another punch, which you can quick dodge and then get another quick hit in, right? So, I would be honest, Bald Bull 2, you need to watch out. His timing's a little different. Dodge most of his punches. Oh, and he also has a punch like this, like a regular punch, like a punch that comes from the side, like Arekkusu. Before he even said that was his move, that shit. He has that punch you can also dodge and then punish him off of that as well, right? So after Bald Bull 2, you finally get to Don Flamenco 2, right? Yes, I know. Piston Hondo, Ball Bull, and Don Flamingo want the run back, right? Don Flamingo, too. You're surprised Don Flamingo even made it past that motherfucker. Past Soda Popinski, past Ball Bull? He passed Ball Bull? That's weird, right? And maybe I fucked up the order, right? But you get my point, right? But Don Flamenco does not play around during his round 2 fight. And let me tell you why, right? You would think he's the same. Nope. He actually comes at you with a quick jab, his uppercut, and also a side punch, right? He has 3 moves that you have to worry about now. And also, he's faster, much faster, and he hits pretty dang hard. And it's surprising that he hits pretty dang hard, considering how bitch-made he was in the second circuit, right? So after you watch out for all that stuff, I would be honest, this is what I do all the time. I still haven't found any way to star punch him because I'm not that good at Don Flamingo 1 or Don Flamingo 2 fight in terms of collecting stars. This is what I do. I do my best to knock him down. And when I knock him down more than once per round, I try my best to kind of knock him out over and over and make sure he doesn't knock me out more times, because sometimes Don Flamingo can still win the match even though you've knocked him down more times than he's knocked you, just off of sheer luck sometimes. So you got to be really careful and try your best not to fall a single time, or at least maybe once, in that said round. Because if you get knocked out more times than him, then he's guaranteed going to win by knockout, or he's going to guaranteed win by the timer and shit, So you just got to try your best and knock him out. Now, if you can get stars and figure out the star timings, don't be afraid to use your star, But make sure you use your star while they're stunned, because it's better using it while they're stunned than while they're not stunned, because then you're just going to get hit and lose your star. But anyway, so after Don Flamingo, Mr. Sandman onward, I would argue this is where I really suck at the game. Because I have only been able to beat Mr. Sandman maybe once or twice non-save state on NES. The reason why I say that is because he is like Ball Bull 2, but much faster with his rolling punch that he has. He also has a slow uppercut. He also has the Dreamland Express, the 1-2-3 punch. He also has a swing away punch, and all of these things combined are all moves that are faster than the previous opponent's punches. Sometimes I can barely see Mr. Sandman's rolling punch that he likes to dish out on you. And also, he doesn't do baby damage. He does a lot of damage, kind of like Soda Popinski, kind of like Super Macho Man, kind of like other characters. And I'm not going to lie to you, Mr. Sandman, 9 times out of 10, whenever I get in the ring with him on Wii Title Defense version, or even just like NES, I struggle. No matter what version of Mr. Sandman, NES Punch-Out, 1990, or Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, there is literally no difference with that man. That man always finds a way to beat my ass because I've always given to pressure. It's like either one way or another, right? It's always pressure. It's always my own pressure that, like, the fight Mr. Sandman has of me. It's always me giving into the pressure and fucking up my times, effing up my inputs, and that's why I always end up losing, which is why in my recent Mike Tyson playthrough, I kind of just said, fuck it, let me just save state here so we can, kind of move on against him, because I'm not going to lie to you guys, Mr. Sandman, for me, like I said, is my limit. I can never really pass him except for that one time I did, and even then, it took way longer than average and look, like I said, I'm an average Punch-Out, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out player / NES player. I'm not the best in the world like a lot of other people are, or people who do full game speed runs, but it's like I could just never finish it off. I could never finish it out, with Mr. Sandman, which is why I save stated against Mr. Sandman in my Mike Tyson's Punch-Out playthrough with save states, because I was like him onward. Mr. Sandman's kind of annoying with that Dreamland Express being so fast. And especially, I want to keep this in mind, I want to let you guys know this, because on CRT TVs, old-fashioned TVs, the flicker for when Mr. Sandman's about to do the fucking Dreamland Express, you can actually see the flicker, right? On emulator, you can barely see that flicker. So when I'm up against Mr. Sandman, keep in mind, I'm not on original hardware, okay? I'm on a freaking tablet that runs that shit on emulator. So imagine the flicker being nearly instantaneous, since also the game runs at 60 frames per second. So it's even worse. I barely see the flicker when he pauses and is about to do the fucking the Dreamland Express. I'm barely able to dodge it. thank you to that one comment in my Punch Out live stream where I was like, Punch Out Runs live stream where I streamed it and it got over 1,000 views. Somebody told me in the comment sections of that, hey, what you need to do is dodge left, 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 right? 3 lefts. No left, left, right. Like he would want, Mr. Sandman would want you to do when he does the Dreamland. No, you just need to dodge left, left, left. Right? Final season of Bleach is coming. I'm sad, bro. That's fair because, everyone wanted Bleach to last forever, but all good things gotta come to an end, bro. Hey, but that doesn't mean Bleach is over because he got the Hell Arc and all that other sort of stuff. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So after you deal with Mr. Sandman and his really tough gauntlet fight, you have Super Macho Man. This is where Punch-Out Gold Edition ends, right? And, the Dream Fight for NES Punch-Out is different, / also different for this game, right? Core 4? Yeah, Core 4, yeah. It's about to be a problem. But anyways, as I was saying, right? Super Macho Man is a pain in the dick. I hate fighting Super Macho Man's save state list because of that quick macho punch he likes to do sometimes, where he just goes so fast, I barely see it, and that caused me to die so many fucking times on my first playthrough. Even now, I barely dodge the quick macho punch, because he always does the little clothesline punch that Sotopapinski did, and he always does uppercuts. It's only those 2 moves, and then and then the third move is the quick macho punch, the spinning punch, right? And then he does the white version where he has a flicker of his own, just like the super, not the super, this is the Super Macho Man punch, right? The real Super Macho Man punches, right? So you're sitting there, right? What is he doing? He's flickering white like Mr. Sandman. He's going to keep on punching you until you die, right? And it only takes maybe 1 or 2 of those types of punches to die by Super Macho Man's real Super Macho Man, like the real punch, right? And basically, it's also random how many macho spin punches is he gonna do to you, right? It can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3, it can be 4, it can be 5, it can be 6, it can be 7, it can be 8, it can be 9, it can be 10. 10 times you have to dodge consistently, and I mean in a timed rhythm. And if you get hit by any of those punches, it's an immediate knockdown. So have that little baby punch, that upper punch that if you get hit by it does half your HP, a quick macho punch, right, that will also do half your HP, and then Super Macho Man and do the fucking full shit for 1 hit of that and you're immediately dead. That's exactly why. I feel like Mr. Sandman, him, and obviously the next guy I'm going to talk about is why I save Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, because I just cannot deal with the pressure of all 3 of these guys, right? It is way too much for me, right? And by the way, after you beat Super Macho Man, right, it's the end of the World Circuit. You beat the World Circuit. Now you're on to the Dream Fight, right? Now, advice for the Dream Fight, depending on what version you're playing, right? I remember an eon ago, I made a whole thing, a goal that I want to beat Mr. Dream in a fight, right? I did that. People got on me a lot in the comments because I got over 4,000 views saying, oh, wow, look, he's save stated. He's save scumming. Bro, who cares? If you really care that much, go do it yourself, man. Go fight Mike Tyson yourself. Go make it. Go do you. Why are you getting on me for save stating the fight? Who cares? Right? It's not like I'm on national television in front of 1 billion people doing this shit, I only wanted to do it to see if I could actually pull it off with save states or not, right? That's all I care about. So, Mike Tyson and Mr. Dream are practically the same, but I'm going to explain both of them, right? So, on Mike Tyson, right, whenever you fight him and Mr. Dream at the beginning, and keep in mind, the reason why Mike Tyson was replaced with Mr. Dream in the 1990s version is because the deal that Nintendo and Mike Tyson had ended, and also Mike Tyson during around this time had a lot of controversy about the ear biting and a lot of other issues, so that's why Nintendo didn't want to reissue that deal so he can be in the 1990s re-released version, right? So the problem with Mr. Dream and Mike Tyson whenever you start the fight with them is they have an instant kill uppercut in round 1. And your goal is to dodge that uppercut, punch twice, and keep dodging his uppercut. Sometimes Mike Tyson or Mr. Dream, depending on which version you're playing, will delay it and then do it again. and do it again and do it again. And he will keep doing this until you drop him down to lower than half HP, where then he'll start blinking and hit you with a forward jab. Then, as that forward jab is coming, you want to do a quick dodge and punch him over and over in the face 2 times. And sometimes he'll also mix in the uppercuts from earlier, and those are literally his only 2 moves. If not, his third move, right, that you have to watch out for is the blinking shit. And you got to make sure you hit him so you can get an instant knockdown from the blinking. Otherwise, he'll go into a Mike Tyson Fury punch barrage, kind of like Piston Hondo's punch barrage and all that other sort of stuff. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, Mr. Dream and Mike Tyson, I cannot do it without safe stating, bro. I'm going to be real, I cannot do it without safe stating. Beating Mike Tyson, it's too much fucking pressure, right, to fight Mike Tyson without save states, in my opinion, because easily it's really bad, because especially the beginning of the fight with the uppercuts that can immediately knock you down no matter how much HP you have. It's too much pressure, and since, like I said, I already lose so badly to Mr. Sandman, what chance do I actually have fighting the Mike Tyson? And Mike Tyson / Mr. Dream is still one of gaming's most hardest bosses ever, because it really tests your reflexes on your finger speed and how you should punish Mike. But also, make sure you punish Mike or Mr. Dream very fast, because if you don't, they'll punish you by hitting you with something else, or they'll just block your attack and continue their onslaught. So, right, and I remember, again, when I faced him again, I sweated my ass off. I struggled a lot. I was sitting there like, damn, he still hits me really hard. I'm still stressing out about the mere fact of fighting him again. I don't think I enjoy this as much, right? Because the whole point of doing it the first time, right, was to see if I can beat him, save stateless or not, right? I want to see if I can beat him. I did it before. You guys saw I beat Mr. Dream and Mike Tyson, because I went back to Mike Tyson's Punch-Out to beat his ass, right? And I did a little video on it because I wanted to fight him to test my shit, right? And, you know, doing it for the Mike Tyson Punch-Out video, the live streams playthrough I did, you know, I felt good, but I also kind of felt like, man, I was just so tired after it. I was so done, because Mike Tyson stresses me out so much with his punches and stuff, and that's what Mr. Dream was doing to me. But, you know, and then in my first play, if you guys remember, you know, when I fought Mr. Dream, I just kept losing over and over again because I just couldn't dodge his crazy ass punches, his power blows, what makes him crazy strong in the first place. You know, I just couldn't do it. And that's why it's kind of stressful to me even to this day, fighting Mike Tyson without some sort of save state or some sort of checkpoint system, you know, in the fight. It's kind of ridiculous, you know, in my opinion. I don't know. I get it. You know, they want him to be really hard, like nearly impossible. But I also love this fact that Nintendo got right with the Mr. Dream fight, right? I love how Nintendo predicted Mike Tyson's fighting style, because it was shown by when he fought Douglas, right, that Mike Tyson's a unit in the beginning of the fight, but if you drag it out too long, that's where he starts getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And Nintendo predicted that in their Punch-Out video game, saying that round 1, he's an unstoppable beast, you cannot fuck with him. But round 2 and 3, you see that he starts slowing down. Even his iconic uppercut that he likes to do that would one-shot you in round 1 doesn't insta-kill you anymore. It does less damage, you know, and you see that, and I love that detail they decided to add in the Mike Tyson fight in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I love that. And I love how many years this man has intimidated players over and over and over again, seeing if they can beat him. And, you know, it's also really cool in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out when I do see people beat him, you know, for speed runs, for full-on speed runs, or people beating him for the first time. I love seeing Mike Tyson get, you know, not Mike Tyson getting taken down, but I just love the idea that people are so invested in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out just to fight him, and then when they get to him, they see how powerful he is, they see what he can do, they see, you know, that, wow, Mike Tyson has, no wonder why people say Mike Tyson's one of the hardest fights in gaming, and he's the hardest fight in the Punch-Out series. You know, it just makes so much sense. But anyways, enough bloating. My experience with Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, it's one of my favorite games of all time on the NES. If I actually owned this game as a kid, I would be playing it all the way to now. I would have been playing it all the way to now. would have had, well, I still have hundreds of it. You can tell I love Punch-Out because I have hundreds of videos on it, man. Shorts, live streams, you know, gameplays, reviews on Punch-Out. I love this series to death. And I would love for it to come back with a Mike Tyson's Punch-Out remake or something so cool. It would be so dope just to see it. But I don't want to waste any more time of your guys' night. That's kind of my re-experience with Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. It was so good coming back and playing the game and re-remembering why I loved it in the first place. Even though I feel like always in my heart, I will always remember why I love Punch-Out. And, you know, for anyone that's going to play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out or NES Punch-Out from 1990s version, right? I recommend it. But don't push yourself to reach Mr. Dream and give itself a shot unless you're absolutely ready, because he will beat your ass, you know. Unless you can straight up just dog on him and just beat him first try, then go, by all means, go for it. For me, I'm pretty good at the game, but I don't know if I'll ever, like, truly, really improve. I feel like I've done my best at the game, and I feel like I've hit my breaking point. Shit. I love Mike Tyson's Punch-Out so much, I'm creating voiceovers for it, you know, because I think Mike Tyson's Punch-Out left such an impact on me. I love the game so much. It made me become a fan of the entire franchise, you know, and played every game after it, and even the arcade games before it. That's how much I love Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Is it a good game to play? Well, if you love your reflexes being tested, and you love having gut-wrenching, hard-ass fights, then you will love Punch-Out. And no, it's not like Street Fighter or any type of 2D beat-em-up game. It's like a game it's like a puzzle game that kind of tests your reflexes and your skills, because each character is a puzzle you need to solve and learn how to beat them. And it's so damn good. The gameplay is so satisfying. So satisfying, it'll make you want more of it. And also, there is a secret circuit after World Circuit where you fight the same fighters, right? But in like a weird / strange order. Like King Hippo for one of them, Mike Tyson has another, and then maybe Piston Honda was another, or another fighter, but I can't remember the code. So, yeah, that shit happens. Also, be careful, if you lose too much, you will be demoted in the game. I just want to let y'all know that. But anyways, that's my re-experience / pseudo my experience with Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. It's a great game. No matter what, it is a phenomenal game, and I think every single one of you should go play it. Go play it. Go play it through Nintendo Switch Online for the 1990s version. Go play it. Go emulate it. Maybe go buy a copy online if it's not too expensive. Go experience it. Because I feel like it's better to experience Mike Tyson's Punch-Out than just listen to a review, in my opinion. It's way better. And if it's not your cup of tea, then it's not your cup of tea. But I feel like it's going to be your cup of tea because it is such a good game with rich gameplay, rich graphics for NES, amazing music, and, you know, also there's going to be a lot of trial and error with those hard fights, man. And it's going to be with you every step of the way, man. I love this game, goddammit. Punch-Out NES / Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, goated ass game. And by the way, no, Louis at work. But anyways, see you guys next time. That's my experience with Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, or re-experience of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Anyways, bye. Punch-Out, I love you. Mwah. And Nintendo, make a new damn game.